There are moments in your life when God decides it is time to remove the disguise, time to expose what has been hiding in the shadows, time to show you what you could not see before. And when God pulls back the veil, the truth does not whisper. It shakes your entire life. It shakes your thinking, your relationships, your habits, your direction, your comfort, your assumptions. It shakes everything that was built on half-truths and illusions. Because when God reveals truth, He is not trying to make you comfortable. He is trying to make you free. Some of you have been praying for clarity, but you didn't know that clarity often comes wrapped in disruption. You asked God to guide you, and instead you felt Him tearing away something that seemed important. You prayed for direction, and suddenly people began to fall away. You prayed for discernment, and then relationships, opportunities, and even your own desires started to feel different. You didn't realize God wasn't punishing you. He was pulling back the veil. Behind the veil is who you really are. Behind the veil is what you were truly called to. Behind the veil is the truth about the people around you. Behind the veil is the assignment you have been running from. Behind the veil is the purpose you kept ignoring because you were afraid of what obedience might cost you. But God says, I cannot bless the version of you that pretends. I can only bless the version of you that walks in truth. There comes a season when God says, enough pretending, enough guessing, enough walking blindly. It is time to see. And when you finally see, it shakes you. It shakes everything you thought was stable. Some truths are loud. Some truths break the heart before they heal the soul. Some truths expose the motives of those who walked with you. Some truths shine a light on your own weaknesses, and some truths ignite a fire inside your spirit that can never be put out again. When God pulls back the veil, He doesn't reveal truth to embarrass you. He reveals it to elevate you. He does not reveal what is wrong to crush you. He reveals it so you can rise above it. He does not expose darkness to shame you. He exposes it so you can walk out of it. The truth comes like a storm, but inside that storm is your liberation. Some of you were connected to people who looked supportive, but behind the veil, God showed you their true intentions. He revealed who was with you only when they needed something from you. He revealed who could walk with your potential, but not your calling. He revealed who spoke well of you publicly, but doubted you privately. And after you saw the truth, your heart was shaken, but your spirit was strengthened. Some of you were pursuing things that looked good, but behind the veil, God showed you that good is not always God. A job that looked secure was actually limiting your growth. A relationship that felt comfortable was slowly suffocating your purpose. A habit that seemed harmless was poisoning your spirit. A dream you were chasing was actually distracting you from the dream God placed inside you. When the veil lifted, truth hit you hard, but it saved your destiny. And for some of you, God pulled back the veil on your own heart. You thought you were walking in faith, but He showed you fear. You thought you had forgiven, but He showed you your bitterness. You thought you were strong, but He showed you the wounds you hid behind your confidence. You thought you were healed, but He showed you the memories that still controlled you. And though the truth shook you, it also freed you, because you cannot heal what you keep hiding. You cannot conquer what you refuse to confront. You cannot transform into who God designed you to be while holding on to who you used to be. So yes, truth shakes you. But after it shakes you, it shapes you. When God reveals truth, He does so because you are entering a new season that cannot be built on illusion. A season where the people around you must be real. A season where your decisions must be aligned. A season where your faith must be authentic. A season where your spirit must be awake. A season where your heart must be clean. A season where your purpose must be clear. Truth prepares you for where God is taking you next. The veil never lifts at the wrong time. God knows exactly when to open your eyes. He knows exactly when you can handle what He is about to show you. He knows exactly which truths are necessary for your next level. And even when the truth feels heavy, it is carrying you somewhere higher. When the veil lifts, don't run, don't resist it. Don't pretend you didn't see it. Receive it, embrace it. Let it shape you, let it guide you, let it humble you, let it strengthen you, because God only reveals truth to those He is preparing for something greater. If your life is shaking right now, it is not falling apart. It is falling into truth. When God pulls back the veil, it is always a sign that a new season is opening, a season of clarity, purpose, strength, purity, wisdom, and divine elevation. You are not being broken. You are being awakened. You are not being punished.
You are being prepared.
You are not losing stability. You are gaining revelation. And the truth that shakes you today is the truth that will transform your entire future. When God pulls back the veil, He is not merely showing you information. He is revealing truth that changes the direction of your life. Truth is not gentle. Truth is not passive. Truth does not come to simply decorate your mind. It arrives to rearrange your soul. There are moments when God steps into your life and removes the filters you have been living behind. He exposes things you were blind to, things you ignored, things you pretended were not real, and things you thought you had escaped. And when He does that, something inside you shakes because you begin to see life, relationships, and destiny from the perspective of eternity rather than from the comfort of your emotions. Many people think God reveals truth only to punish or embarrass them, but the opposite is true. God reveals truth because He loves you too much to let you stay deceived. A lie can carry you for a season, but it can never carry you into your purpose. A lie may protect your feelings, but it will never protect your future. A lie may keep you comfortable, but comfort has never built a destiny. Truth, however, has the power to break chains, open doors, and call you into who you truly are. But before truth lifts you, it confronts you. Before it heals you, it exposes you. Before it builds you, it breaks what was fake. When God pulls back the veil, it's because He knows where you are headed. He knows the attacks that were planned against you. He knows the people who were smiling but plotting. He knows the habits silently draining your anointing. He knows the thoughts quietly destroying your confidence. He knows the voices shaping your identity, voices that never came from Him. And He knows that if He doesn't reveal truth now, you will walk into a storm unprepared. So He interrupts your comfort, shakes your foundation, and brings everything hidden into the light, not to crush you, but to protect you. There are times when God reveals truth about people. You may wake up one day and feel a sudden shift. Someone who once felt close now feels distant. Someone you trusted suddenly shows signs that trouble your spirit. Someone who always had access to you suddenly feels misaligned with your life. This is not confusion. This is revelation. God is protecting you from relying on people whose hearts were never aligned with your journey. He is showing you that some people were only assigned to a season, not to your destiny. And when the season ends, He removes the veil so you can see clearly. Because if you continued to hold on to people who were not meant to go with you, their presence would become a burden to your elevation. Sometimes the veil God pulls back is not about others. It is about you. He shows you patterns you keep repeating. He reveals wounds you never healed. He uncovers excuses you have been hiding behind. He exposes attitudes, mindsets, and behaviors that have kept you from stepping into your full identity. And when that truth hits you, it feels like a shaking in your spirit, because deep down you know He is right. Deep down you know you have been living below your calling. Deep down you know there is more inside you, but you refuse to confront the parts of yourself that needed to change. God does not reveal truth to shame you. He reveals truth to grow you. Growth never begins in convenience. It begins in honesty. You cannot move forward if you refuse to face what is holding you back. You cannot be strong if you pretend not to be weak. You cannot be wise if you assume you know everything. You cannot walk in authority if you still cling to the chains of fear, pride, or insecurity. So God shines a light, not on what you want him to see, but on what he knows must be transformed. There are also moments when God reveals spiritual truth, truth about your calling, your destiny, and the spiritual war surrounding your life. Some people think their struggles are random, but when God removes the veil, you realize your battle had a purpose. The enemy was not attacking you because you were weak. He was attacking you because you were chosen. You were not fighting for survival. You were fighting for destiny. What felt like chaos was actually training. What felt like delay was preparation. What seemed like rejection was divine protection. God shows you that the pressure you experienced was not meant to destroy you. It was meant to shape you into someone who can carry the next level of his plan. And when this truth hits you, your whole life shakes. You begin to see that what you called failure was actually God's redirection. What you called loss was God's cleansing. What you called pain was God's sharpening. What you called silence was God's strategy. Truth reframes everything. It changes how you view your past, how you interpret your present, and how you prepare for your future. The shaking you feel is not the destruction of your life. It is the rearranging of your life. God removes the veil so you can stop living by emotion and start living by revelation. When truth comes, it demands response. It calls you to step out of old identities and into divine identity. It calls you to stop pretending and start walking in purpose. It calls you to surrender what is temporary and embrace what is eternal. Truth is not always comfortable, but it is always necessary. Every shaking is leading you toward clarity. Every revelation is leading you toward freedom. Every exposure is leading you toward destiny. God is not trying to hurt you. He is trying to prepare you. He reveals because he loves. He shakes because he is building. And he shows you truth because truth is the only foundation strong enough to carry the weight of your calling. When God begins to pull back the veil, he doesn't just show you who others truly are. He shows you who you have been, who you are becoming, and who you were never meant to be. Many people assume that revelation is only outward, that God exposes the hearts, motives, and intentions of those around you so you can decide who to trust and who to avoid. But the deeper work, the work that truly shakes your life, is the internal unveiling. You may think you are ready to see the truth about situations and people, but are you ready to see the truth about your own patterns, your own beliefs, your own hidden fears, and the unhealed parts of you that have shaped your decisions for years? When God lifts the veil, he brings you face to face with yourself, not to condemn you, but to free you from everything that has silently imprisoned your destiny. There are moments when you pray for clarity, not realizing that clarity will confront you before it comforts you. God begins to show you the areas where you have settled too low, the relationships you tolerated because you didn't understand your worth, the opportunities you rejected because fear held your voice hostage. He reveals the wounds you thought were healed but were only buried. And when he unveils these hidden places, it shakes you because it challenges the image you created of yourself. You discover that some of your delays were tied to your own hesitations, that some of your heartbreaks were tied to ignoring the Holy Spirit's warnings, that some of your struggles weren't enemies attacking you, they were habits within you resisting transformation. When truth comes, it shines light on your blind spots. It exposes the excuses you have used to avoid growth. It shows you where you have been loyal to pain, where you have been faithful to. When God pulls back the veil and exposes the truth, it is not simply to show you what was hidden. It is to set you free from what was silently shaping you. There are moments in life when you feel an unsettling in your spirit, a shaking deep within your soul, and you cannot explain why. You sense something is shifting, something is being revealed, something you once trusted suddenly feels unfamiliar. This shaking is not the enemy attacking you. It is God revealing what could no longer remain concealed. When God reveals truth, it comes with a holy force, a divine authority, a spiritual intensity that rearranges everything you thought you knew. This shaking often begins quietly, a thought that doesn't leave, a nudge that keeps returning, a feeling that something is not aligned with your purpose. For years, you may have lived surrounded by illusions, people who pretended to support you, opportunities that looked blessed but carried hidden traps, relationships that seemed loving but were anchored in selfishness, environments that appeared safe but were spiritually toxic. God, in His mercy, will not allow His chosen ones to stay blind, so He starts revealing, and when He does, the revelation does not come softly. It comes with a shaking that changes the direction of your entire life. Truth has a weight that illusions cannot hold. When truth enters, lies crumble. When truth speaks, manipulation loses power. When truth rises, every false foundation collapses. At first, this feels like everything in your life is falling apart, but in reality, God is pulling down what was built on deception so He can build something unshakable. Revelation is not comfortable. It exposes motives. It exposes hearts. It exposes your own patterns. Sometimes the truth God reveals is not only about others. It is about the version of you that you outgrew while trying to please people who never cared about your growth. The shaking becomes intense because God is removing the weight of what never belonged to your destiny. You may feel like relationships are breaking, opportunities are disappearing, doors are closing, and people are distancing themselves. But this is not loss. It is divine extraction. God removes what you would never let go of on your own. The shaking is not designed to harm you. It is designed to detach you from what would have destroyed you. Some people were assigned to your past, but they were never meant to journey into your future. When God reveals that truth, it shakes you because you finally see what you tolerated, what you ignored, what you called loyalty, what you labeled normal. Yet God calls it bondage. And when God pulls back the veil, your spirit awakens in ways you never imagined. Suddenly, conversations you once accepted now feel poisonous. Actions you brushed aside now feel disrespectful. Places you once felt comfortable now feel spiritually draining. This is the internal shaking of revelation. Your spirit is rejecting what your flesh tolerated. There is a moment in revelation where you realize you can no longer live at the level of who you used to be. God shows you the truth so you can step into a higher version of yourself, the version He intended from the beginning. The shaking also brings clarity. You begin to understand why certain prayers were delayed, why certain people walked away, why certain doors did not open, why certain plans kept failing. God withheld what you thought you wanted because He saw what you didn't. He saw the agenda behind the smile. He saw the conversation behind your back. He saw the trap inside the offer. He saw the jealousy disguised as friendship. He saw the sabotage dressed as support. And He saw your heart, too pure, too loyal, too trusting to perceive the danger. So he shook your life to protect you from what you could not see. Sometimes the truth God reveals is about your calling. You discover that your inconvenience was an assignment. Your suffering was a training ground. Your rejection was a redirection. The things that broke you were preparing you. God reveals the truth about your identity with such clarity that you can no longer shrink to fit anyone's comfort. When God pulls back the veil on your purpose, you become unstoppable. You begin to move differently, think differently, speak differently, because truth has set you on a path that cannot be shaken by opinions or opposition. And there is another shaking, the internal confrontation. When God reveals truth, he exposes the lies you believed about yourself, every negative word you absorbed, every insecurity that shaped you, every fear that limited you, every wound that silenced you. God reveals the truth behind them. He shows you that you were never inadequate, never forgotten, never abandoned by him. The shaking removes old labels and reveals your true identity, chosen, called, equipped, protected, anointed, destined. This kind of revelation reshapes your future. You walk away from what once held you. You rise above what once defeated you. You see the world with spiritual clarity. And although the process shakes your whole life, it builds a foundation where nothing can blind you again. Because once God reveals the truth, you cannot unsee it. When God pulls back the veil, it is never to destroy you, it is to deliver you. What feels like the shaking of your world is actually the stabilizing of your destiny. What feels like exposure is actually protection. What feels like truth cutting deeply is actually truth setting you free. God reveals because he loves. He uncovers because he is preparing you. He shows you the real condition of people, situations, and even your own heart, because he refuses to let you build your future on lies, illusions, or temporary emotions. Every revelation is an invitation to maturity, an invitation to obedience, an invitation to clarity, an invitation to transformation, and above all, an invitation to walk closer with him than you ever have before. When the veil drops, you are no longer blind. You no longer move by assumption. You no longer lean on your own understanding. You begin to see life through God's eyes, and that alone is the greatest breakthrough you will ever receive. Do not fear what God exposes. Do not resist what God clarifies. Do not cling to what God has revealed to be temporary. Instead, embrace the new strength he is forming within you. Walk boldly in the truth he has shown you. Step forward with humility, wisdom, and confidence, knowing that revelation is a sign of divine acceleration. You are being prepared for a higher level of purpose, a greater level of anointing, and a deeper level of discernment. What God revealed may shake you, but it will also shape you. And soon you will look back and say, Lord, thank you for showing me the truth before the truth destroyed me. Your future is safer now. Your steps are clearer now. Your spirit is stronger now. Because when God pulls back the veil, he is not ending something. He is beginning something extraordinary in your life.